And here we are back again. This is Kicking Out of Two. I'm Michael. With me, as always, my tag team partner, Tori. Hey, Tori. Sonic, by God.
How we doing?
What's in the drink today?
Cherry Coke. Same thing's
Okay.
always in the drink when I get Sonic, unless it's water.
Uh,
Why did I get blurry all of a sudden? What the fuck?
do you got something else in that drink? Maybe that's what got y'all blurry.
I didn't say faded. I said blurry.
I'm working on a sponsorship here. I'll see if I can get that going.
What is that?
The Lost and Found energy drink. Got
Okay.
more vitamins and less crap in it than Monster. I'll still drink Monster. I ain't disparaging them. Monster Zero, I'll do that all day long.
Right.
They got some fun flavors though. So like this one tastes like tropical punch.
So I've moved into my office finally.
I see that. Still can't see what's behind you. Probably got to clean up a little bit before you're comfortable with that.
It still needs, yeah, the child still needs to get some stuff out. But once I get my stuff hung up and so on, then I will.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we'll just kind of get right into it. We definitely have some news today. All sorts of stuff showed up today. One of the things,
And the reactions to some of it's pretty strong too. Totally justified reactions.
Yeah. That's the last thing we'll talk about is that one.
Okay.
Before we get on to the 3 count. But so the first one, possible spoiler for WrestleMania. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, maybe just kind of pause your stuff, skip ahead a little bit. But Adam Pearce announced that Penta versus Braun Breaker was going to happen on the 24th Raw, and it did.
Mm-hmm.
And match went off, and things kind of broke into a hectic thing with Finn being part of it and Dominic being part of it. So the word is that the creative plans is to make it a 4-way with all 4 of them at WrestleMania. First of all,
I have beef with that.
Okay.
First of all, why is Ludwig Kaiser not included? And where's Sheamus?
Yeah, it's a good point too.
The fuck is Sheamus? Make this a 6-person. Drew and I were talking about this today. Make it an elimination match. Everybody starts in the ring. If you get a pinfall submission, that person leaves.
You know what? Actually, obligatory ladder match. We have one every year.
No, not that one. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Oh yeah,
that should be a ladder match.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
But do an elimination match. First elimination should be Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
And whoever gets him down, whoever gets him down, everybody piles on just to get him eliminated. And then while they're up celebrating, he just starts fucking everybody up.
Yeah.
And then he leaves, and we finish the match, and whoever wins, wins. And it should be Sheamus or Dom.
Braun needs a reset.
He needs what?
He needs a reset. Because unfortunately, in this situation, Braun is the less entertaining thing in the picture. That little vignette he did talking outside the arena, ending with is there dogs barking? Like, I'm getting tired of it already. Like, we need to pick something up here. And I heard something today on a podcast that they were doing a review of Raw. It was the Going in Raw podcast. I agree with him on something. He does that running fast thing to do the clothesline, to do the Steiner line. Why don't we do that to do the spear? That would make that much more impactful.
I feel like, first of all, he has been there for about 45 seconds and has 3 moves. He is absolutely his dad and his uncle.
Yes. As far as what they do, yeah.
Suplex, Frankensteiner, spear.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that's special about him.
You know what? I don't disagree there. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, he's
Other
very
than his rope to
one-dimensional.
rope speed, his rope to rope speed is stupid. Like, that's insane.
Though I will say, I haven't watched the episode yet because I got Triller TV, like $7.99 a month, so I can watch like OVW and some of those other local places. Look up on some people that we may talk to in the future. But also, like, I wanted to get it because I think that's what Evolve was there. Evolve's now on, I think, the YouTube
Tubi.
Is it Tubi? Because I want to pick up on that. Apparently, there's a girl on Evolve who does the same shtick, and she is just as fast.
Really?
So that's intriguing to me.
So apparently there's a girl in either Evolve or LFG that I think is part of the dynasty.
Mm-hmm. LFG.
Because after she won.
Yep. Yep, there is one of the members that are part of the Bloodline are there. Which we'll talk a little bit about LFG later too. Because I've got something to say about that. Yeah, so I mean that's creative plans for WrestleMania. I mean I think it's good. It's always good to get more people, as much people as you can on the card. Get as many people a payday as possible. My only concern
is where Dom needs to pin Finn to win that title.
Amen. My only issue is, like, do this for multi-man matches that don't matter for anything. Because at this point, we're going to have a multi-man match for the tag belts. We're going to have a multi-man match for the IC belt. The US belt's looking the same way.
There's a lot of them.
There's going to be a lot of just, like, there's a bunch of people in the ring, and that's going to get tiring very quickly. Because it's always the same formula. And, like, rightfully so, where it's like everybody powders for a little bit so two people can focus on the ring and everybody else can rest, and then you kind of rinse and repeat. But if we're doing that for like 7 matches in 2 nights, that's going to get tough to watch. But we will see. While they were overseas, WWE did some tryouts on March 30th. A small group did the European tryouts. So we had Riho, which previously tried out for WWE. We had Man Like...
Riho, like AEW Riho?
I don't think it's that Riho.
Okay, when did they do this?
This was on March 30th. This was, or it's coming this March 30th as a tryout.
Oh, I was like, how is it on March 30th? It's only the 25th.
My bad.
Are you Gunther? Did you get slapped in the next week by Jimmy Uso?
Good Lord.
He went and reported this for
us? That boy.
Oh, he absolutely tagged the fuck out of him.
I would not be surprised if that smile after was a real smile, because he was just like, oh, shit. Because he tagged the hell out of him.
Shit out of him.
Man Like Darius, which is a guy that recently tried out for TNA. Luke Jacobs, which is the Progress World Champion currently. He recently did a stint as WWE security team appearance. Golden Boy Santos, which appeared in WWE Spain shows. Zazoya.
Hey, I've heard the name on that one.
Yeah, Golden Boy. Zazaya, which is part of the Extras team in Spain. And Adam Maxted, which is a former Love Island star. So another reality star that may be sneaking in.
Okay.
They also said there's likely invitations for a Michael Oku. They're likely going to invite him to try out.
Isn't he the young kid? I
think so.
That went crazy with Ospreay?
Mm-hmm. If I remember
that kid is talented as hell.
And then there is a guy who's recovering from a shoulder injury that they wanted to have him come in, so we'll obviously have to see. But Peter Tahania, or Tehani, there we go. So there are more names that may be confirmed post the tryout, but currently that's the lineup that we're looking at. So a lot of young talent. I've seen Man Like Darius recently on Twitter, some of his stuff. Because since this was put out there, a lot of their stuff's kind of been trickling in to modern culture, and that dude's pretty good. He's got a mouth on him. As far as his in-ring stuff, I haven't seen a lot of it, but like he's a good talker.
Who was it again?
Man Like Darius.
Okay.
That's his indie name.
Okay.
So you talked about the Bloodline. Speaking of a Bloodline expansion, MLW's Contra unit adds another Anoa'i Fatu family member. So it looks like there's more young talent kind of going in there. That particular group historically had Jacob Fatu, Mads Kruger, Minoru Suzuki, Simon Gotch, and even more than that. MLW is now
Simon Gotch.
Simon Gotch was part of it. I think that was during the whole, like, he was doing the interviews and it was dogging Enzo. I think it was during all that stuff.
Look, dogging Enzo is fair game for pretty much everybody, but
Yeah.
I still, word for word, every time I fucking hear it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because it was on everybody's front page on YouTube for months. It just wouldn't go away. One thing dropped. Fightful wanted to report this back earlier, like when WrestleMania 39 happened, but they couldn't at the time. But some more questions and more details that came up about it recently. So now they've brought it to where they feel like there's a full story that they can talk about. Vince McMahon apparently had some influence on WWE even after stepping away back in 2022 for a little bit. WrestleMania 39, originally Finn Balor was scheduled to defeat Edge. Vince McMahon forced the change despite Adam Copeland wanting Balor to win that match. The Cody Rhodes loss to Roman Reigns was not just a Vince call. That was planned long in advance, so they just wanted to make sure that people were aware that that was not a change he did last minute.
Right.
But apparently the Raw after Mania that year was completely a Vince. Like the exact comparison was like a Tasmanian devil tore up the script that they had and had them start all over.
Is anyone shocked by this?
I do not think so.
We know that this old man hated everything unless it came directly from him.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, if it came directly from him, it was trash.
Yep. It's sad when, like, and stuff that's happened aside, when genius starts to fade, because, like, it's obviously there was a point where his brain just kind of gave up of being able to handle the pressure of it or what have you, and just it stopped working. Like, because they'd even said, like, there would be times where he'd have the same match 3 or 4 weeks in a row because he forgot that they fought last week. At some point, you gotta put Old Yeller down. I'm sorry. TNA shakeup. Some big names we found out were leaving. Some major people in creative, some major people behind the scenes. I'll go ahead and throw their names out there real quick before we talk about the one I know you want to talk about. Ariel Schnerner, Rob Klilgman, and Michael Shuchenko.
Okay.
Those 3 were let go. Those were behind the scenes big names. We've seen a little bit of details as far as people that were going to replace some of them. One of them being Delirious, which I just saw today. He's apparently going to be taking over creative for TNA. That's an odd thing, I think. I don't know a lot about Delirious other than, like, the little bit of indie stuff that I've seen him do.
I know nothing about him.
But the big one that the internet has, like, completely blown up for, and rightfully so, was Gail Kim was let go. Miss TNA herself. Like, when you think TNA women's division, you think Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. Like, it's always those two. And so to think that they let Gail Kim go is just strange.
The reactions that I have seen on Twitter. Whoo!
Well, and not even from, like, I expected to see that result from people, like, at our level that watch the show, love the show, like all
No,
that
I'm
stuff.
talking about current roster people.
Oh, I know. The moment the statement went out, I can't confirm, obviously, but Rosemary immediately put out an emoji that was just like a pissed off face. And so I'm sure, like, that probably tied into that, and she can't say anything, obviously. But Sean Ross Sapp himself even wrote a little expose just personally saying, like, this is the most perplexing thing I think I've seen happen in wrestling in forever.
Tasha Steeles put GTFOH with an angry face.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at some of these and like, wow. Like I've seen reaction to people getting fired.
Yeah.
Like I've seen reaction to that. This was not that.
Right. And then obviously, like, it opens the question of, like, where did this come from? Why are we doing this? Is this due to the partnership? Did WWE know anything about this? Was WWE part of this decision? I don't know.
Somebody posted a thing that says, "No, dead ass. TNA can burn to the ground at this point. Bringing a raging racist and making her your knockouts champion while getting rid of the Gail Kim, who saved the company repeatedly. Fuck them."
Woo! I do want to pivot on that you just said. I saw something today, and maybe we should go over this later during, the Twitter topic. But I did see something today that a person of Hispanic background was responding to people talking about her new personality change, and said, "You guys need to get a sense of humor. This is not racist." I want to be clear just on our stance of what we were saying.
What did they say?
That person is of Hispanic background, and they said, you all need to get a sense of humor. Her coming out like that was funny. It's not racist. I want to be clear. We never said that was racist.
Is she talking about?
As he, I believe, was I think it was a male.
He's talking about
her coming out in the Hispanic, overly so look. I just want to be clear. Like, I'm not saying that that's racist. She's of Hispanic background, so she's more in her rights to use that stuff.
Okay.
My thing is, it's poor taste because of it's obvious why we're doing it. It's her right to do it. It's her
right.
It's her 100%.
Heritage. It doesn't change the fact that she's a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't care what her heritage is. She's still a racist piece of shit.
Right. And we're just doing
that. I stand on business on it. Like,
yeah, we're just doing that to cover it up. Like, that's all that's for. It's just to go, look.
Absolutely placating.
I can't be a racist.
Try and take, huh?
I can't be a racist. I'm also a minority. It's.
I have black friends. The right chance pants.
What was that thing?
Oh,
Elon Musk's dad said he can't be racist. He had a black maid or a black butler, I think. Like that. Stop helping, sir.
I don't think that word means what you think that word means.
You just said, I paid a black dude to do my stuff for no. That does not help your son's case at all. But anyway.
No, sir, I don't. This is letting Gail Kim go is baffling.
It is.
The reason that the knockouts have been in the top of the women's divisions for the last 15 years, is Gail.
Yeah, it is crazy that we let a talent like that go, first of all, because, like, I guarantee you could still throw her in the ring and she'd still do better than 90% of the roster. But even just the mind for the business, having someone that could be there to help your knockouts division.
I want to take a moment to pause and point out tomorrow is the Gremlin's birthday. She'll be 22. So why are you
just don't feed her after midnight, please.
You should see what she does with her big people's monies, okay? I can't control this.
Okay. Well, absolutely. from the show, obviously, but obviously anybody out there wanted to throw any sort of happy birthdays to our wonderful mascot, the Gremlin. Much appreciated. Yeah, letting go of Gail Kim is just it's crazy.
I really, really hope that AEW signs her and says, "Here is our women's division on a silver platter. Please do something with it."
Yeah.
Because right now they're getting creamed by everybody else. Don't get me wrong. Toni Storm is absolutely epic.
Yes.
But overall, the women's division is meh.
I'm really confused by that because I thought at one point, didn't they hand it over to Serena Deeb? And I figured it would have turned around from there. But I'm going to guess she probably didn't get it. Because I think we'd be definitely in a better spot than we are now. Not that they're not building some good stars. Harley Cameron, greatest thing on TV.
Harley is amazing. Don't sit under my desk. Come here. Vance, move.
Obviously, Toni Storm doing well. But speaking of the AEW's women's division, there is one more small piece of news. We did find out that we are in a contract period for Mariah May. And there is no word on what is happening with that. So,
if you let Mariah May go after this feud with Toni, just pack the show up. Just pack your shit up. It's over. Pack it up.
Yeah.
Just shut down your women's division. Because are you fucking kidding me?
I would like to say there's no way that they're not, right? There's no way that they're letting her go. There's no way.
There's no way they're going to fuck up Rusev. There's no way that Malachi Black won't be great over there.
There was also an interview, just kind of speaking of AEW a little bit. Lexis King had mentioned in an interview. He said the difference between AEW and here is that here you have structured development of younger talent, and I work better in a structured environment. So he wasn't like, I want to be clear, he wasn't downplaying their stuff. He's just saying young talent gets developed here.
The difference is the way that people learn.
Yeah.
Some people can listen to somebody talking and learn perfectly. Some people can read it and learn perfectly. Some people need to put their hands on it. We know this just from our years in training. So if he was there and it wasn't what worked for him, but coming over here has, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was always put my hands on it, which is why I got called HR a lot. No? Not even a chuckle. That's it. I was always a hands-on person. And that's why I always got called HR. It makes me feel better that you didn't hear that. So I was like, man, not even a chuckle. Not even a small little laugh. We'll go ahead and get over to the 3 count. So the 3 count, you want to start it this time? I think I started it last time. All right. So the first thing you want to talk about was WWE's Monster Clash ruined by a disqualification. We had a Big Braun versus Jacob Fatu, and Solo fucked it up for him.
The winner gets LA Knight next week.
Yeah.
Or this week, I guess. I think we're setting up Solo Jacob at Mania, which is fine.
Yeah.
Does anybody walking God's green earth actually think Solo's going to win that? No.
I'll tell you the only way it happens. We talked about it last week. Hikuleo.
They debut somebody new.
Lance and Y. He brings in 2 more family members.
I feel like even with that, you are still not putting him over Jacob right now. makes no sense.
Yeah.
Jacob is killing it in every way.
He is. He's going to be a bona fide like main eventer
He may
by
main event
next
WrestleMania
WrestleMania.
next year.
Yeah.
He may main event next year, or at least win the Rumble type title match.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Look, Braun Strowman is not the greatest worker in the world. He does good for his size. His moveset is a little varied, so I'm okay with it. But Jacob made him look like a fucking star. Like, Jacob carried that match.
Yeah.
I don't understand that ending. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. The whole idea was crazy.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you do that? What part of Jacob at any point makes you think you need to have Solo come out and bail him out?
Yeah. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
And even Tama was like, what are we doing? After he said, yeah, for like 3.5 minutes. I just...
Yeah.
I don't... What are we doing?
Yeah, it's
I
weird.
feel like Solo has lost all direction.
So
like, since he lost to Roman, he's been pointless.
I mean, he was pointless before that. That's the sad thing, is he didn't do anything. And the one time we finally got to see some personality, it was like 2 Mondays before he was going to end up going face to face with Roman. So by then it was too late. But that was when he was on the Raw and he was like, I bought tickets, and like that, like he actually showed some personality. I'm like, that's what we needed to see this entire damn time, and not just like him coming out there and slow talking like Roman, because he's not Roman. It's nuts.
It just doesn't make sense to me. What are we doing here? I think that's what I'm stuck on, is what are we doing here?
But yeah, so basically, like, you know, that the DQ, to me anyway, felt kind of like lazy booking. I think it's a way for us to either get us Solo and Fatu, or we're gonna end up making it like LA Knight versus Braun versus Fatu versus Solo. Throw him in it too. Why not? Just to get all that going.
I hope not. Like you said, I'm good with a few multi-person matches. Is Mania.
Yeah.
Cool. Get people on the card. Do I need 7 multi-person matches? Absolutely. Do I need every title except for Jay and Gunther and Cody and Cena to be multi-person? No. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need that many multi-man matches.
Titles?
Yeah.
Fuck are the Raw tag titles?
Well, and that's something a little concerning to me too, is we are just a few weeks away. And I still don't know what we're doing with some of the titles. And when you have 14 matches-ish over 2 nights.
Yeah. So the SmackDown tag titles are going to probably be 5-team ladder match, which is going to be fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. Maybe even a TLC match if they really want to pop off. The US title will be multi-person, probably.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental title will probably be multi-person. The women's title will be multi-person. Charlotte and Tiffany won't.
No.
Charlotte, Tiffany, Jade, Gunther, and Cena, Cody won't be. But yeah, every other title is going to end up probably being a multi-person match. Unless you do Jacob, LA Knight one-on-one.
Well, we think Cena, Cody won't be. That's a whole other conversation.
No way.
Punk was very vague with some stuff that he was saying this past Monday.
No way.
here's what I think's gonna happen with that. So for those watching that may not know, so Punk came out and he basically said, "You three are in my way for me getting what I want, or did I get what I want?" And he references the looking at the contract to make sure there's stuff in there he wants. A lot of reference in it of what I want, and so I'm wondering, because it's the second biggest match we're talking about, if it's going to be the main event night one. And so he gets his main event. He doesn't have to win it, but that gets him his main event. The two running theories is that's one of them, or it's if he wins that three-way, he gets put into the WWE title match to main event the next night. And again, doesn't have to win. His whole thing is just he wanted to be in the main event.
And I 100% get that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of it. Cody Cena needs to be the match.
Yeah.
I don't care when it is. I don't care what part of the show, what night. I don't care. That is the match.
And as much as it pains me to say it, Cena needs to dog walk him.
I agree.
Cena needs to get it.
Cena needs to beat the absolute piss. He needs to beat him like Brock beat Cena at SummerSlam or whatever it was.
No, it probably won't, because I'm assuming that's going to be the main event of night two. That's going to be your big match.
I'm telling you, what needs to happen is something needs to happen to Cody in the back. And it needs to be something like somebody poisoned his food or something. Something minor that's going to affect him.
Okay.
I don't dispute that Cody can get out there and sell it, no matter what it is. And let that be how it starts. And then, like you said, Cena needs to just dog walk him. Just beat the ever-loving piss out of him.
Yeah.
Like, beat him so badly that the pinfall is a foot on his chest. And even have the title already, holding the title up as you pin him to win it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing is he's Rock's champion, so, I mean, have Rock come out there and make it happen.
It definitely needs to happen, and it should be... It should be an absolute beating.
And if that's... Here's the thing. So, I was very much against him getting it at WrestleMania, because we still have the rest of the year with Cena.
Right.
And to me, it was too early. If that's the case, Cena Cody's the last match. Wherever that is. Survivor Series, wherever we're doing that. That last match is Cody, and Cody gets the title back. You have Cena be the corporate champion between now and then, not showing up, barely defending the title, doing the same thing that he complained about Rock doing when Rock was Hollywood. But to me, that's the only way that makes sense.
Yeah. I definitely think this is where you put the title on him.
Yeah.
And take it off him at SummerSlam. Like, he doesn't need to keep it long.
Which that leads right into your second thing. Speaking of which, as we're going through your three things. Cody Rhodes and John Cena had another face-to-face. This time a little more poignant. Cody actually got to talk a little bit to Cena. We still didn't get a very big rebuttal from Cena.
We didn't, and I'm curious about that. Cena saying he was going to basically take his ball and go home if he wins. It's genius.
The whole thing was amazing. First of all, defending the spinner title.
Look, we said it at the time. That should have been his heel turn, because that title got so much hate.
Yep. Which I just want to throw out my opinion. I thought the U.S. title was genius.
Yeah.
Because it looked like a turntable. It made perfect sense. When he did it the WWE title, I'm like, all right, what is this horseshit?
And that's what I'm saying, though. Like, he absolutely should have turned heel with that because of the hatred he got.
Oh, yeah. But then again, it was hatred from the old heads, though. The young kids at the time,
Oh, I
like how
know.
many spinner belts they sold, John Cena merch they sold, like people, the younger audience loved it.
Absolutely.
But just seeing, so like when Triple H won it, and it was still like the bulky, didn't spin anymore, but it was that still that title. It
Right.
looked like a toy around Triple H's waist, and that's what he
Yeah.
was referencing. Is like, you guys called it a toy. Well, all right then, I'm gonna win this title. I'm gonna retire with it. I'm gonna take it home with me, and you guys can make whatever other toy you need to make, because the real world champ is gonna be at home. Which sounds very reminiscent of a certain CM Punk rivalry he had of, I'm going to take my shit and leave.
I would absolutely love to see him win, get the title, hold it up, turn around, hand it to Rock, and walk off.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd would lose it.
I hate making this comparison. I do. Because I like both companies. So then you don't see Cena unless you also see Rock, and it's on Rock's shoulder every time. Cena doesn't even touch the title, doesn't carry the title.
Yep.
That's how they should have done the crap that they're doing with the Riders. It being in a briefcase, and we never see the damn title, makes no damn sense.
I'm so done with that fucking storyline.
Me too. I'm ready for it to be over. I'm already downloading characters because I'm going to do a universe to redo it.
Okay.
Just so we can actually like physically show people this is what should have happened. But yeah. Just masterful work though. And then him saying like, and there's nothing you all can do about it. And then at the time I felt like it was mistimed. Looking at it now, a couple of days later, I get it of why we waited a beat before hitting Cody's music. Because you wanted to make it seem like it was done. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
Yep.
Then Cody's stuff hits. I get it.
Yep.
But so then he comes out, obviously.
Masterclass. Just the whole thing has been an absolute storytelling magic.
Yeah.
And I hate to be this person because I'm not going to sit here and dick ride Cody. Love Cody, but I'm not going to sit here and dick ride him like some people do. I'm also not going to hate him for no reason.
Yeah.
The fact is, both of these stories, this and the Bloodline, hinged on Cody. Cody's performance, what he said, how he behaved, facial expressions, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these major stories have hinged on Cody.
Yep. And I think this was perfect because, again, like we talked about last week, in reality, Cody can't go toe-to-toe on the mic with Cena. Cena has given cry face to The Rock, to Roman Reigns, to The Miz.
I think he could keep up somewhat. I think the problem is John can adjust on the fly so well, and I don't think Cody could long term. Like he could at first, but if you got into a longer segment on the mic, Cody can't keep up with him. And that's not a knock on Cody. I don't know many people that could keep up with John.
Which is why I think this was done masterfully for him too, because he comes out there, he's a very short and sweet, and basically just says like, "Look, you say you're going to take this title and take it home, take it right now.
Let's do it."
Puts it down, takes the tie off, takes the jacket off. He's ready to go. Cena does his finger blow thing, like he's gonna fight, and then he dips. But perfect to make it so that they're not going toe to toe on the mic, because that unfortunately is not going to go Cody's way, especially in an overseas crowd. If Cena starts laying into Cody on the mic, that overseas crowd is going to eat that up, whether they're yelling Cena sucks or not. But you
Yeah.
get Cena full bore on a mic going into Cody, we're done.
His whole thing with the profanity and everything was brilliant.
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, this has been so perfectly done.
Yeah. It's masterful. Absolutely masterful. So it's great to see what's going to happen. I did read somewhere that I think that next week's appearance is the last scheduled appearance of John Cena between now and Mania. So I don't know what we're doing then. Are we going to do via Memorex things with him, of him just like in his
He's
home
only
or
got
whatever?
2 weeks. There's only 2 weeks after next week.
Right,
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, so are we just going to do like that type of thing, or is he just going to be like, look, I'm done. You guys have to pay to see me, and you'll see me at Mania. And then we get him out of it for a couple of weeks.
Be perfect.
Yeah. The last thing you want to talk about, near and dear to both our hearts, is the Benefit for Bay that FSW put on. It was a killer show.
So good.
Yeah.
Top to bottom. Swerve getting into Champ Bay's house instead of Swerve's house. So good. Him and Kenny King on the mic was amazing. AJ Francis was AJ Francis, and it was really well done.
Yep.
I have a little beef with the production value just because of what it was.
Right.
Like, nobody else would have stepped up and said, hey, let us help you produce this. Let us help you have better lighting and better microphones and better satellite connect. Like, nobody else would do that. That seems kind of suspect to me.
Yeah. But it also could be one of those of like, they wanted as much money to go to Chris as possible, so don't expend it on lights and stuff
but
like that.
I guess to me though, like, TNA, step up. AEW, step up and say, you know what, we got this.
Yeah, use
Let
our
us
arena.
take care of that, so it doesn't cost you more.
Yeah.
But we can make this a better lighting, camera, microphone, whatever. The show was okay. Like, the show was good. The announcers were terrible. They were just trash. Melissa Santos was the ring announcer, which I was a fan of because I like Melissa Santos.
Yeah.
I guess Brian Cage was supposed to wrestle, but was hurt, or something happened, and that's why Ricochet wrestled.
Yeah. Which, honestly,
Ricochet,
more fun match.
Ricochet and Rich Swann absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
That match was so good.
I love it. Rich Swann has spotty back story that still has not been quite cleared up today. But it seems to be okay because him and his, I think, still fiance. I don't think that they've gotten married at this point. Are still good. So apparently things might have gotten blown up out of proportion, but they just kind of stopped being talked about. So I don't know what.
He's signed with TNA right now.
Yeah, he's been signed with TNA for a bit.
Okay.
And I think Sue still is. But to say that though,
Too young. Yeah.
The comedy bits of him and Ricochet tricking Ricochet to dance, like,
so
great fun, great entertainment. Those two doing a match in general, they're both high flyers. They're both very damn agile. It was a very fun match. To me, it was a better match than what would have happened if Brian Cage was there. Nothing against Brian Cage. It's just
not at all.
Little man, big man.
Rich Swann
little man.
Rich Swann and Ricochet have very complementary styles.
Right.
They got married.
Oh shit, they got married
in March of 2017. Rich Swann and Su Yung.
Yeah.
On December 30th, 2021, they announced that they were pregnant with the first child. Was born in February of 2022. The issue that he had was December 10th of 2017, right after they got, a couple months after they got married, he was arrested on charges of battery and kidnapping / false imprisonment. Victim was identified as his wife.
Mm-hmm.
They got into an argument over something, him criticizing her performance at the show. All charges were dismissed. Basically, they just said there wasn't enough evidence. And then August of 24, he entered a rehab following a second arrest for disorderly intoxication since 22. So he's had some issues, but it looks like he entered rehab. He looked to be in pretty good shape. He was good in the ring.
Yep.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Rob Van Dam came out. There's not a chance he wasn't I.
No.
And then his wife came out, which I had never seen her.
You'd never seen his wife?
No.
Oh yeah. In TNA they were an act.
That was a treat.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, who is? They said Katie Forbes, and I'm like, I've never heard of her.
Yeah.
So I looked it up, and I was like, okay. But the fact is, we had talent from every major company on this show.
Yes.
If this doesn't show you that when they want to, they can do these things. So, guys, it's time to stop acting like it's going to be a huge problem. I mean, the downside, we knew who was winning these matches.
Yeah.
Ricochet wasn't taking the L.
No.
AJ Francis wasn't going to win intention, and we knew that.
Yeah.
It's Battle Royal. We knew that. Have you watched the whole show?
I haven't watched the whole show yet. I watched the first couple of matches, and then I've seen some clips.
Did you see who the last entrance into the Royal Rumble at the beginning of the show was? Glenn Gilberti. The Disco Inferno. And he got booed out of the fucking building.
Yeah, because no one's paying to see Gilberti.
I was like, what? Why?
Maybe he has history with Bay, because that's this whole thing was a love letter to Bay. So
I'm fine with people showing up that even if they didn't, they showed up because of him.
Yeah.
I'd have had to take a pass on that one.
Disco
be like, I
want
to come wrestle for you. You know what, bro? I think we're good.
I think we're
going to pass. Now, I heard the concession stand has an opening if you're free, but that's the only way anybody's paying you anything.
Let's stay back there and sell some beers for us. We can do that.
But the show was amazing.
Yeah.
Bay walked out at the end, and I teared up.
Yep.
Seeing him struggle to do it, but get up the stairs and into the ring.
Yep.
It was just so good.
Which hearing the interview with him and Chris Van Vliet, and him talking about his relationship with Cross, having him come in there, him and Cross do that big hug at the end. Like, that had to be a big moment for both of them. First of all, Chris for being able to walk, but also Kerry and seeing this good friend of his, this person he's mentored and helped.
Yeah.
That, for all intents and purposes, was supposed to be neck down, done.
Yeah. Karrion Kross basically put Chris Bay on the map.
Yeah. So
I love that they introduced him as Killer Kross, too.
Absolutely. We should get back to that. I mean, we've got the War Raiders now. Like, can we go back to Killer Kross?
I feel like he's been Karrion Kross longer than they were anything other than the War Raiders.
Yeah.
And we changed their name like 84 times. He's been Karrion Kross since he got there.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'd still like to have Killer Kross come back. But, yeah, I mean, we had a women's title match, which was fun. Ace Austin, Leo Rush, and Johnny TV put on some fun spectacles. Those three are always great in the ring. The Battle Royal, as they pronounced it, was very good. All being topped off by Karrion Kross being in the main event, where he should be anyway, but that's a whole other conversation.
And it was Hammerstone's first match back since an injury.
Yeah.
And he tried to break Karrion Kross's legs.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. I was a fan. Like, the whole thing was great. The video packages were amazing. I just I loved seeing people come together and go, you know what? Promotions don't matter because this is our guy.
Yeah.
This is one of us. And this should happen more often when people get injured, not just a bigger name.
Yeah.
Like, look at the stuff that some of them have gone through. Why are we not doing things like this more often
Well,
as a whole for
and
whoever?
and we can talk about like shows like that where we're shining up for somebody. But even then, just in general, like having production shows of places and people that have came from there. So like WWE now owns Evolve, and they've turned it into a whole other thing. But how many of that main roster talent made their way through Evolve over the years? And why not have just like an all around, like, reach out to AEW, reach out to TNA, reach out to local promotions, OVW, where like people that have went through that promotion since we've rebranded it now, and do like a big pay-per-view style Evolve show with those people. Or if ROH ever gets an actual like big time deal where we can see them on a regular basis, as AEW, reach out to WWE, reach out to TNA and go, hey, your people that went through ROH, we would like to borrow them just for a show. Because we're rebranding it, we're bringing it out there to the masses. We
We
want
would
to
like to
start that way.
borrow them to honor what they did for ROH.
Yeah.
They don't have to wrestle. They don't even have to talk.
Right.
They can show up ringside, press box, wherever you want to put them.
Heck yeah.
Um,
Because even just like AJ Styles being in the front row would be amazing for that event.
Josh Briggs came through Evolve, so did Austin Theory.
Okay. A new theory
AR
did.
Fox, AR Fox and Leon Ruff.
Okay.
JD Drake, Drew, Timothy Thatcher, Johnny Gargano, Tony Nese, Rich Swan, and these are just who they have listed as champions.
Yeah. See,
I
so
just feel like
doing that kind of thing would be a fun thing to like you said, to honor that brand that helped build some of these stars. Things like that. If, they've talked about doing another Evolution, when we do it, reach out to TNA. Reach out to AEW. Hey, we would like to borrow some women for this. And again, like, they wouldn't have to wrestle. But if they did, give us two of your best that you want to face each other. And then that way you guys get a win regardless on our show. Come here and hang out and do that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, so I just pulled up the Evolve roster. And I'm just going to hit some people. There's way more than this. Adam Cole.
Bye-bye.
Angelo Dawkins. Theory. Beretta. Oni Lorcan. Brendan Vink. Is that Duke Hudson? Brody Lee. Darby. Colby Carino.
Hold on real quick right there. You want a bigger reason to do a show for Evolve? There you go.
Brody.
Do it as, an anniversary of his death or something.
Well, let me get through the rest of this because I want to see something. Cedric. Damn, Davey. El Generico, Ethan Page, DJZ, Dijak, Evan Bourne, Drew Gulak, Drew McIntyre, Eddie Kingston, Harlem Bravado, which is Andre Chase, Fabian Eichner, JD Drake, John Silver, Johnny Gargano, John Moxley, Dorado, Kyle O'Reilly, Keith Lee, Cassius Ono, Josh Briggs, Josh Allen. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a lot of people came through there.
I'm just now through the L's. Fuck. Okay, Mike Bailey. I'm just gonna hit a few of these. Prince Puma, which is Ricochet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Raquel Rodriguez. Swerve. TJP. Champa. Your boy Cameron Grimes. Walter, Zack Sabre Jr. Like, this roster was crazy stacked.
Yeah.
Shotzi, Marty, Raquel, Natalia Markova, Alex Garcia. Who is that? How does she look familiar? But yeah, damn.
Yeah, this is a stacked roster. But yeah, being able to do event shows for certain promotions as you do celebrations for whatever reason. Like, it's easily done. This shows how easy it's done. And especially because some of the waters are muddied anyway. Because like I saw a thing pop up. It was on the Fightful. Every once in a while they'll throw in there just like random questions they've been asked. And one of the random questions was, how come Jake the Snake and Billy Gunn got to be in the latest video game? Because they're under contract with AEW, and they said because it's a separate contract that they have with WWE just for merchandising.
Yeah.
And so that shows right there, like, you can work that out. If you can say, okay, we're going to let you guys promote our people with your merchandise and video games, why couldn't they promote them by just having them in the crowd? Or Billy Gunn showing up to introduce Triple H into the Hall of Fame this year. Because having his entire crew behind him do it.
Nash, Pac, Sean, Road Dogg, Billy. Yeah, they should all be there.
Before I get to mine, I do a question popped up that I thought would be fun. It kind of goes back to what we used to do when we did elimination changes, which for those that do our TikTok, it would be you'd take one of three things out of existence and deal with what happens in the aftermath. And I remember one that we did, I specifically said, what if we took out the Austin 316 win? Like, so no promo, nothing, you take that out.
Right.
Someone had mentioned that there's one more pin you could take out that would eliminate that. What if the curtain call never happened? What if they didn't do that curtain call?
Oh, shit, because Hunter was supposed to win King of the Ring, wasn't he?
Right. So Tripp wins King of the Ring. We never get the Austin 316 promo.
Wow.
Like, oh, shit.
Never even thought about it.
That's a fun, like, ripple to look down of, like, oh, shit, what would have happened? Anyway. All right. Well, on to mine.
Hunter ate shit forever for that too.
He did. Well, because they couldn't make Sean eat shit.
He was a champ.
He was their champ. They couldn't do anything about it. And let's be clear, he was the best option they had for champ, even with his problems. There was nowhere else they could go with that. So for mine, the first one is I'm going to go over LFG. It seems like each week now I have at least something from there. This one is Bailey Humphrey, which I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see her yet. Very unique looking woman. She's very tall, very built, and a very unique look.
Right.
People initially held on to that and kind of made fun of her about it. I have not heard anything since LFG actually started of that type of thing, though, because I got to see her personality, you got to see her in the ring, how she's working. I think she's kind of warmed up to the crowds. But this week was all about people's first match. These are people that have not had a match, either not in front of people or have never had a match. And hers specifically was she's never had a match. So she faces a member of, I want to say it was Mickey's team, little cheerleader girl, which, mind you, she's apparently had some hip issues. And so there was already that question of like, is she going to give a good match? Because like she's going to be kind of limited. What are we going to do?
Right.
Taker was all but complimentary for her first match, and flat out said like, I would rather have had that as my first match than my actual first match, because she was slow, she was methodical, she played a powerhouse, and a scary ass powerhouse at that.
I need her to have a better finish.
Well, I want to clarify though, because you're not the first person to say Khali's finisher. Khali's finisher was the brain chop.
Then once he stopped doing that because he hurt somebody, he started doing this, and he would like pick them up off the ground, and it was the dumbest shit ever.
But hold on, put some respect on Kona Crush's name, because that was Kona Crush. Kona Crush.
It was his first.
It's a coconut crunch.
Wasn't that Bryan Adams?
Yeah.
Was that man even like?
No, wait. No. Because Bryan Adams is part of Chronic, right?
Yeah, it was Bryan Adams and Brian Clark.
Yeah, no.
Clark was Adam Bomb.
Right. No, Crush was still Crush. He was part of Nation of Domination later. I think. I could be wrong.
I don't think so. Crush was Bryan Adams.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't. No, it wasn't Nation. It was DOA.
Oh, that's right.
Him and
the Harris brothers, the Nazis.
That's who it was.
The Nazis that everybody knew was Nazis, but we just kind of let it go because
I guess he was Bryan Adams' Polynesian roots. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, it was back in the day of like, you say the first thing about you to Vince, and Vince goes, "That's your gimmick." So he probably would.
He was from Tampa. He was born in Kona, Hawaii, and raised in. I'm not going to butcher that out of respect for people from Hawaii. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, he went to high school there, and then he joined the Air Force.
Yeah, so he probably just mentioned that he was Polynesian, and then he was like born in Hawaii, and they went, "Ha, you're Hawaiian, and you crush coconuts." But anyway, even with that being her finish, though, it looks devastating from her because she flexes everything. Like, they did a side shot of her doing it, and like she was even like engaging her calves and her thighs. Like, she was flexing everything she had to make that move look like she was killing that girl. So I'm sure eventually we'll get something better out of it, because that is kind of a weak finish to what we see today. But I think it was good for her first match and a good way to start it off. So if you haven't started watching LFG, I highly recommend it. These kids are good. Another kind of standout match is Evander Holyfield's son is part of it. And he also had his first match ever. So, and did amazing. My second thing was Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. I'm just very disappointed in that match. That's the only reason I want to talk about it, because Zelina Vega deserves so much more. This looked to be her trying to get her way to Chelsea Green in the U.S. title, but she basically lost clean to Piper Niven. It does not give me hope that they're wanting to push her to that title now. Not to mention, it wasn't helped with apparently some production issues that had to be handled, because she had a couple of wardrobe malfunctions during the match. And so they did? Yeah, and so they had to black out the screen a couple of times. That obviously did not help the situation at all. I want them to take her seriously. I really do. I think Zelina deserves to be in that upper echelon. She's really, really good, and we never get to see it. When she first started and she was hanging out with Andrade, like she got to actually get in there and wrestle, and then they slowly moved her to just being a manager, and that's kind of where she's been stuck. But she can go in that ring better than 90% of the roster, and needs to be put up in that upper echelon at some point. And my last thing, we talked about a little bit when we were doing our gaming on Thursday, but Jon Moxley versus Cope and that stupid spike spot.
So Drew was here today. Mary's son was here today. And that came up.
Okay.
He said the same thing we did. It was so unnecessary.
Yep. There's been a lot of people.
You already watched, didn't you? You're a slut. Get out. Watching Daredevil without me, bitch.
How dare she? I forgot that was on tonight. I'm going to have to watch that later. That's the thing I want to make sure that our audience understands. It's not that I don't think that spot should have happened. Mox is a crazy son of a bitch.
Absolutely. And willing to do anything to make a match good.
That happening on a mid-card of a Dynamite is insane.
Not even like a special Dynamite.
No.
Not like the spring break one where we're rubbing it in that we're passing WCW.
Yeah.
Like, you've been around longer than
hold on, that's perfect right there. If we would have held it off just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
To do it there.
Mm-hmm.
That at least would have been like, it's an amazing day.
There's a couple of different things with this show that it's longer than something was a promotion and longer than Nitro ran.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what promotion it was, but they've been a promotion longer and have run more shows than Nitro did.
Yeah.
And because Eric Bischoff is a tool, they're absolutely rubbing it in.
I have a difference of opinion of that, but I get where you're coming from.
Anyway, back to your point.
But that to me is the entire point. Like, just like it was a mid-card match, and we did that spot, and then that's, to me, was even the weirder thing, is that wasn't even the finish of the match. Like, we pulled the thing out of his back, and then he proceeded to beat Cope. What the hell? How does that happen? You just got at least a dozen nails jammed into your kidney area. Legit, because we saw the different camera angles. So you took that shit flush. And you're going to tell me the finish of that is you're able to take that out and then beat Cope?
Them trying to pull it out and watching it pull his skin.
Still can't watch it. Still can't.
I told Drew, he's like, I think the whole spot was unnecessary, which I can't disagree with.
No, absolutely.
For me, on a free Dynamite, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You want to do it on a pay-per-view? I don't care if you jerk the fucking curtain with it.
Yeah.
But on a free Dynamite in a mid-card match?
Well, and I'll throw this in there as a thing. Mick Foley, salt of the earth as he is, every time he's talked about it on his old podcast that he had, he's talked about it in his books that he's written, #1 bestsellers, by the way, on New York's bestseller list. Hit us up, Mick. I'd love to have you on the show.
Bad beat. Oh, God, I love that interview.
I would lose my shit. I'd just let him talk. I'd ask him one question, just let him rant for an hour and a half. But anyway, he had something.
Big Mike just chimed in on the chat. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome in, Big Mike.
Welcome in. As you can see above your head, now I got it figured out for the chat. So the chat's above your head now.
Saw that.
So,
But what happens if it's a really big message?
well, see, I'm hoping it doesn't overflow too much. It's got like 3 lines worth there. As long as someone doesn't, fall asleep on the keyboard, maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. We're running out of real estate here.
I know we are.
I added the Discord up here. We've got the Twitter stuff there.
Nice.
All that's
Nice.
like we're running out of real estate.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mick Foley, Salt of the Earth, he has something called the Foley risk to reward ratio.
Yeah.
And this that failed that test.
It should.
The risk, like, I didn't say he said that. I'm saying off of his scale that he talked about all the time, there is no way that would have passed the risk reward. Because you're doing this on free TV, mid-card match. Like, so many reasons why this should not have happened. And then he still wins the match after getting impaled. There's no way.
This is where our beef with their booking is 1000% legitimate.
Yeah. It's crazy how all that went down.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, my thing with it is, one, with it being free TV. It was free TV as a mid-card match. If you're going to continue with this story between him and Cope, you have to top that on the next match. How do you top being impaled by that board full of spikes without just murdering yourself? Like, to me, there's no way to really top that without being too dangerous. Because that in itself was already too dangerous. You could see it by them, like you said, trying to pull it out. Like, you could see the skin moving and everything. So it's like he legit took these spikes in the back.
And this was part of the conversation with Drew. 100%.
Yep.
I agree. Absolutely, Big Mike. 100%. This was a Moxley thing for the shock value, because here we are almost a week later, and we're a week later, 2 weeks later,
a week-ish later. It was
and we're
last week's
still talking. It's still a conversation.
Not a great conversation, but it's a conversation.
No, but people are talking about it.
For sure. Like,
and now you're like, okay, what the fuck is he going to do next? Now I have to watch.
Yeah.
I love thumbtacks. I think the thumbtack spots are great.
Yes.
But once they're in, they're in.
Yeah.
You can see them, but those are going in.
Yeah.
Pequeño. They're not going in very far.
Right. Even if you don't gimmick them, because there are some places that gimmick them and they file them down a little bit further too. Like, but yeah, I mean, at most they're going, fingernails width into your body.
If that.
Yeah.
There's no reward to this.
No. There was no reward to that.
And the end of the match was stupid.
Yeah. Well,
because
that's the thing. If we
did this spot and he won.
Yeah. If they would have done that, and that's the reason why Cope won, or they even call off the match, because the dude's got a board stuck in his back. Like, we can't get it out. We need a medical crew. We got to get him to a hospital or to a medical facility if you're in the WWE. But, like, we got to get him somewhere.
I need match to stop with that shit. Stop medical facility. Just say he's at the fucking hospital. You know why they don't?
Because they don't want people going to the hospital.
Because fans started showing up at hospitals.
Yeah. But like it's any different. He's going to the medical facility. What's the nearest medical facility that's open at 9 o'clock?
You have a lot of options. It could be a doctor's office. It could be an urgent care. It could be a hospital. Like, there's a number of different things.
Yeah.
A medical facility. It's a fucking hospital.
But yeah.
Okay, are you good on this? Are you done?
Well, I was just gonna say, so like, the big question to me now is like, what, like you said, what do we do next? Like, with both of them, because now are we gonna put Cope in danger?
Oh, no.
That man's like 2 inches away from another broken neck.
They're starting a Cope versus Dax Harwood feud.
Did I miss that?
Did you not see? I think it was Collision or Dynamite. Yeah, it was Collision.
I watched Collision, the two-parter.
I think it was Collision. There was a tag match, and Dax got mad. Or no, It was the end of the Cope match.
Okay.
Dax got mad and bounced when Cope tried to give him, shake his hand.
Okay.
So, first of all, if you break up FTR, go fuck yourselves. Secondly,
I thought they had a thing going on with the Kingdom. Your booking
this
confuses
is Tony
me.
we're talking about. Look, here's your expectations. I need them down here.
That's a good point. Down where? Sorry. Go ahead. What was the thing you're about to interject?
Did you see Seth Rollins on Good Morning Football?
So I don't know which one that is, but is that the one where it's he was sitting there and they offered him to come and do the show?
So he is a guest on this show. A guy named Adam Rank is one of the other hosts. It's like a fantasy football show.
Okay.
Adam Rank came out and introed Seth, and in doing so mentioned Tyler Black, Kenny Omega, and Bryan Danielson all in the same promo.
Oh shit! I did not see that then.
You should see. I'll send it to you. I was like, first of all, bro, you are a great hype man. Like, let this dude start introducing some people because this shit was fire.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I know he did the rounds
I saw it
with some
because somebody
sports shows.
posted it. Do what?
I know he did some rounds on some football.
He was
shows
doing
this week.
Yesterday and today on this football show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw somebody be like, I got a Tyler Black mention on ESPN. What the fuck?
Yeah.
ESPN, whatever channel it's on. NFL Network. I was just like, Tyler Black, Kenny Omega, and Bryan Danielson?
It's crazy.
This is what we're doing? Okay.
It's crazy. It's crazy how big it's getting. Because like I don't know the name of the show, but he went on another football show, and the host that was there basically said like, look, hey, there's sometimes I can't be here, and because of that, we just don't have a show. How would you feel like filling in on times that I can't? And he's like, look, I don't have the encyclopedia knowledge of football, but if you just want me to come here and talk, absolutely, I'll do that if I can fit it in.
This is 1,000% what Seth is gonna do.
Oh yeah. Bless you. Godzilla.
Right? Godzilla. It's not denominational. So yeah, I saw that and was like, woo, okay.
Yeah. I'm down for it. Like him getting out there, it's because we're back to a boom period for wrestling. Wrestling is a hot topic now and everybody wants to be a part of it.
Look at that one I just sent you.
I'm gonna need you to like entertain while I'm doing that.
No, I don't, because your reaction is gonna be fantastic.
God damn. Unrelated topic. Yeah, if they let Mariah May go.
Oh, that woman is stunning.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So
Grace would like to show off her peach cobbler cinnamon rolls.
Oh.
Don't touch the bottom.
I'm not. There you go.
Those look damn good.
They smell good, but I'm good. They smell like a peach cobbler.
I'm gonna need her to do that with apple cinnamon. Be like an apple cobbler with cinnamon rolls.
That could be buzzing. I asked Drew about going to Monday Night Raw here. He's like, I already got my tickets. I also got my tickets for whatever the show is in St. Louis. I was like, very nice.
Damn. He's on it.
Yeah. What happens when you have that big people's monies?
So I added a new logo. There we go, right there. Twitter topics.
Nice.
There's There's a couple that I have. We'll see what time we have because we're sitting at 9:20 already. But the first one I wanted to bring up is there was an incident with a female fan.
This fucking skank.
Who apparently, the more I've researched it, it's a person who has actually been in their DMs before, like been inappropriate in so many ways with them and other wrestlers before. But over this past Monday Night Raw, they had an incident with her, with CM Punk, and with Cody Rhodes. In both cases of her getting handsy. One of the videos specifically showed like she grabbed onto Cody as he was walking by and would not let go.
Grabbed a hold of Punk a couple times and he backed off and told her to stop.
There was a different angle of that one. He flat out said, "I'm gonna punch you in the face."
Okay.
It's all right.
So I didn't know anything about her previously, not before today, but I'm just saying at one point, saw her comment on a few things. So I looked into her because she's a good looking woman. I was like, okay, who is this? Apparently she is absolutely a ring rat.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to knock her for having an OnlyFans, but she has one.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking her for it. You got the body for it.
Yeah. You do.
More
you.
power to you, sunshine.
Yeah.
But to behave like that, knowing you're going to get caught, and she's 100% going to use it from a promotion.
For sure.
But you are why some of these people won't stay and sign autographs and take pictures and don't do these things. Things like this. Well, this is why so many people say don't touch people.
Mm-hmm.
It goes along the same lines of don't show up at the airport, don't show up at the hotel, don't bother people around. Like, just stop it.
Well, the thing that kills me about this is not too long ago, there was a person who reached out, and I want to say it was Bailey, and like he reached out and touched her butt, and people lost their shit about it.
Who
as
did?
they should. It was a fan. Like she was bent over the rail, I think it was, and like she went to get up, and like a guy specifically stood up, smacked her butt, and sat back down, and people lost their shit about it, as they should.
Absolutely.
I hope
somebody punched him in the face.
I need that same energy here, because this is just as inappropriate. The video, like the one with Punk, I was uncomfortable with, just because like you could tell like he was getting pissed off about it. Cody was uncomfortable, and he was trying to do his best in the situation, because she grabbed his hand, would not let go of it until he got back over there to take a selfie. He finally decided, okay, look, I'm gonna do a selfie, because it seemed just like a fan that was overzealous. Okay, I'm gonna give you a selfie. Went to do the selfie with her, and she like reached her hand around his neck, and he like brushed it away, and you could tell he said something to her, probably like, "Hey, don't do that." And then gave her a second attempt to do the selfie, and then she did the exact same thing again, and then he was just like, "Nope," and then walked away. Like it's respect. Like if I say don't do that, don't do that.
It's 100% the don't mess with people. Don't touch people.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's
so
dumb.
I hope it's one of those that they literally ban her from the shows.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thought.
No, there's no excuse for this. I don't give a fuck who you think you are. You have no right to be putting your hands on them like that.
Yeah.
They're taking their time to see fans. People like you are the problem.
Yeah. They definitely need to make that very clear that that's not okay. Yeah, make an example.
Make an example of her.
The other Twitter thing I want to talk about, I think we got a few more minutes to talk about. At an AEW show, this past Collision, there was a little girl.
The little girl with Jericho?
Who fucked Jericho up. So much so, he even broke.
Cracking up.
I will say this: I'm not 100% that it was just quote unquote a little girl, because I've not seen abs like that on what looks to be a 6-year-old girl. So
I'm gonna guess she's like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
She's just small.
I'm gonna guess like some form of dwarfism or something. Like I'm gonna guess she is not as young as she appeared to be.
No.
Which part of me, if it was my kid that young, I would slightly have a problem with what went on. Not my kid though, not my monkeys, not my circus.
Right.
So essentially,
had that happened, had Patrick done something like that,
yeah.
I'm not saying anything right there.
Well, no.
I'm addressing that later.
Yeah.
Like, bro, no, we're not doing that again.
But
that was your one freebie.
Him and the crew get out of the ring, and they walk up to this girl, and she is just flipping off.
Apparently, she had
Jericho.
flipped him off before they started. Yeah. Where the video that I saw started.
Right, because the video that I saw when they get out of the ring, he points and he's pointing over there off the camera, and so then the camera pans and you see her, and so like at that moment he notices that she was doing this, and she's just flipping him off, and she's yelling "you suck" and all this other stuff. But the funniest part was she lifts up her shirt and you see just like rock hard abs, and he's like,
something about being in shape like this, and she busted that up, and I went, God damn.
So then he goes, how do you get abs like that? And she goes, going to the gym, unlike you. Like, oh,
at which point he turned his head because he started laughing.
Yeah, because he even broke at that point.
Like, woo! He turned into a street prophet because he got the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
He caught the smoke with his little girl, and that shit was great.
Don't mess with them little girls. They'll tear you up.
Nah, she was not playing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, it kind of goes to the, like, do fans have the right to say or do whatever they want because they bought a ticket? But
so something like that, 1000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was she disrespectful? 100%. Should she have been? 100%.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it's supposed to be. This is exactly the kind of interactions I am 1000% fine with.
Yeah.
Little kid part of it aside. Just because, little kid. But these interactions like this, if you want to have somebody standing at ringside yelling at a wrestler, should you get out of pocket? Absolutely not.
Right.
Say something about somebody's mama, I hope you get punched in the face. Like, you cross a line, I literally hope you get punched in the face. But this interaction, I have zero issue.
I don't disagree. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I kind of wonder, because there was a little girl at the AEW event we went to, and I wonder if it's like a green shirt guy situation, where is this a person that travels and that goes to their shows?
So I wonder about that. I also feel like there's enough people that really enjoy AEW shows. Excuse me. That if they get nearby, they're going.
Yeah.
You get somebody that lives here and they're going to Dallas and St. Louis and Wichita. You may see the same people at all three shows.
Yeah.
Just because they enjoy the product.
Yeah. They'll drive there if they have that money. Yep. I'm with you. If I was, single, no kids, Mike, absolutely, I'd be one of those anytime it shows up to Kansas and Arkansas.
If
Texas.
You get within a 10-hour drive, I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, Denver would be my limit that way. Kansas City, St. Louis, Memphis,
Denver.
Maybe Nashville.
I don't know about Denver.
Huh?
I don't know about Denver.
10 hours.
I know,
Not
but
even
that's
10 hours.
That drive through Kansas, though.
Oh, it's brutal. I would rather drive over to the Panhandle and up through New Mexico.
Yeah.
Texas, New Mexico.
Yeah, back when I was married, we took a friend of hers home, and he lived in Denver.
I remember that.
And Jesus Christ, that drive was brutal.
I remember that. Yeah, that. Oh, I'm not acting like driving through Kansas. I feel like Wayne's World. Hi, we're in Delaware.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing. Hi,
yeah.
I'm in Western Kansas.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it was bad. We passed a sign like, this is sad. This is the sign that you have welcoming people from Oklahoma. Welcome to Kansas, the sunflower state. And that was it. And we just saw nothing but sunflowers for 7 hours. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Single No Kids, you get within a 10-hour radius of Tulsa, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah. Get in the car.
San Antonio, done. Houston, I'm in. New Orleans, bet. Shreveport, cool. Nashville, Memphis, I'm down.
Detroit, maybe not.
What?
Detroit, maybe not.
Detroit's more than that's a farther drive.
I know, but I don't know if I go to Detroit anyway. I don't feel like getting shot today.
I would.
Maybe it was Auburn Hills. I don't know about
now
Detroit.
I'm curious as to how far the drive is to Detroit. See, this is what you do. You just cause problems.
I'm sorry.
13.5 hours. I'd do it. Chicago's on the way. Fuck it. Let's go. Indianapolis, bet.
No, at this point,
Columbus,
it's like
Cincinnati, Louisville. All of these. See, I'm just saying.
Anywhere but New England at this point.
Literally.
Don't go to Jersey. Everything's legal in Jersey.
Everything's legal in New Jersey. That'll always be funny.
It will be. That will be funny.
Minneapolis is 10 hours and 20 minutes. I'm just saying.
Side note. Someone had said, and I'm not going to say who because we don't get political on this show, that if it wasn't for us, France would be speaking German. One watch of Hamilton fixes that. Biggest musical in the world for a long bit. Anyway.
That dumb bitch. That's all I got for it.
Yep.
I know who you're talking about, and no, ma'am.
It was weird.
No.
Well, not to mention, though, it was also said that apparently the big man can fire all women over 40 or something like that are part of it. Like, I believe she's in that category. So she might want to watch her step.
No, she's in her, 30s.
Oh, is she? Okay, I thought she was creeping towards
40.
that
dumb bitch is in her 30s.
Oh, well, shit. All right. Well, anyway. Want to, though, stay tuned, because Harvey turns former colleague Zoe Lawford, with whom he has a thorny past, for help proving the firm's case against Pearson Hardman. Donna lawyers up and plans to plead the fifth. Next on Suits.
Okay, I remember that episode. Like I said, I just finished it. That shit, those last couple episodes were way too damn emotional for my flavor.
I was all excited because I thought you said this next episode of the new one would had Harvey in it. Harvey wasn't in it.
There's a new one that came out last night, and I need to check it. They keep teasing it.
Okay. Well,
so I'm just going off what they're teasing.
It wasn't the one last night because I just watched that today. So
okay.
I am loving this show though. I just need them to stop bouncing back and forth in timelines because I get really confused. I have to look up to see, like, is he the 5 o'clock shadow or is he clean cut to know, are we talking about past or future?
Cora Jade has been in NXT for 4 years and has not had a singles title match. One-on-one.
Nope. Every time she got put in that position, she got hurt. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
I think the only
she
time...
missed a solid, 2 years on injury?
Yeah. And that was like...
I'm of the opinion, if you've been in NXT for 4 years and there hasn't been an injury issue, there needs to be a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Not saying that they need to be fired because you have Dawkins who was around forever. You have Breeze who was around forever before they found a character that fit.
Right.
But there needs to be a conversation of look, what you're doing's not working.
Something's not working here.
We need to figure this out.
Yeah. So you said Sean Ross Sapp had commented on Gail Kim's thing,
mm-hmm.
and I know we're over 9:30, but he said firing Gail Kim is one of the most baffling decisions I've seen a wrestling company make from a personnel standpoint. She's one of the most respected people in wrestling and an instant in to have a conversation with almost any talent you want because of the respect she carries.
Mm-hmm.
Pro wrestling is desperately lacking female leadership and influencing creative talent relations, booking and agents roles. Thanks, Big Mike.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
you.
coming in.
Hope you're feeling better. I know you were sick. But he's not wrong on this. Like, I don't understand this firing.
No,
watch their women's division just go to shit.
I will be interested to see over the next week or so the details of this. That's what I'm waiting on, because I want to see, why did we make this decision? Because there was already the question of, does WWE already own TNA? And we don't know it yet. Are they doing an ECW money under the table type of deal? So was this something because of that? Was she?
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, was she let go, or was she let to leave? Like, did she say, like, I don't want to be here if we're doing this, and so they just let her go? Was it her decision? Was it not her decision? Like, I want to know some more details about this, because that baffles me.
I can't see WWE saying we don't want her.
No.
There's no fucking way. You're really going to tell me you don't want one of the most respected female wrestlers of all time?
Right. The current regime, I don't see that. If this was still a Vince world, absolutely.
100%.
Because you couldn't make her a star.
No.
They tried. They couldn't make her a star.
She did
went
it on
somewhere
her own
else.
when she went to TNA.
Yeah.
Like
of course,
I said,
they had her as arm candy for Bryan Danielson. Like, that's the only thing that they had for her.
Hope and pray. She goes to AEW, and they say, here is our women's division. Do with it as you please.
Yeah. That would be best case scenario.
Likelihood?
Well, and if nothing else, because there's been that rumor of, like, that extra show that they're wanting to put on Max is a women's show. If that's the case, here you go, Gail. Make a women's show for us.
And watch that show absolutely bang from start to finish.
Well, and look, like, you talk about the respect she has. Look at the people she could bring in just for the mindset, just for the booking, just for the training of the females. Between Awesome Kong that she's faced numerous times. She had a long stint with the Bellas back in WWE. She's been in both big companies. Like, the knowledge itself, the context she has, there's no reason you don't have her on your roster somewhere. Behind the scenes or in front of the camera. It doesn't matter.
Can you imagine the matches that her and Serena Deeb could come up with?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Was there more to that?
There is over 30 women on this roster right now that we know of. I didn't count a few people like Ruby, Saraya, obviously interviewers, announcers. People we know aren't there right now. You still have a 30-woman roster. I can't even begin. And this is AEW, not ROH. So, like, Billy Starks isn't on here. Athena's not on here. Like,
well, see, I wouldn't even count them, just because casual fan of AEW has no idea who those people are.
Fair.
Because you don't see them anywhere. We just saw Billy because she showed up and faced against Monet in an amazing match, by the way.
Yes.
that's something that should have been teased a lot more, especially with the story that they had going of Billy was the Izzy to her Bailey. Like,
so did you see Izzy and
that was one of the other
Mercedes
Twitter
going back and
topics that I
forth?
brought up. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Izzy killing it.
100%.
I didn't realize she still wasn't 18.
Yeah, she's just under.
She was
Turns
like
18 in May.
She was like, I'll turn 18 in May, and then we could stop just this lip service and actually have a fight.
So, the Renegade Sisters, Red Velvet, Rachel Ellering, Mercedes Martinez, Lady Frost, Athena, and Billy Starks are the ones that were not on the other roster.
Yeah.
And who the fuck is Griff Garrison? That video came up the other day, and I fucking laugh every time I see it. But between those two rosters, with Gail Kim, like you said, look at the people she has access to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know some of these people have Legends deals, but that doesn't mean they can't show up somewhere else.
A great, for instance, she has access to Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong was one of the biggest badass scare the shit out of you people, and she was in AEW for a minute.
Yes, with Brandy.
Megan Bain
still wrestling?
No, she's retired.
Okay,
but having her as like behind the scenes, because Megan Bain, dominating presence, missing somewhere in the presentation. Camille, who for some reason they have something against her, and I'm gonna say maybe it's because they don't understand, maybe they don't get her character. Benefit of the doubt.
And this is where somebody like her,
like an Awesome Kong, could be like, "Look, you are a tall, dominating bitch. Here's how you put that over." And they have that conversation of how these two characters can work. I mean, hell, just like off the top of my head, have those two get together and be the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Two big ass women just throwing the little girls around.
I just feel like you have Gail out there. If she's available right now, sign this woman.
Yep.
Like, there's no downside to me.
There's not. And then that's kind of why, like, I want to hear the backstory. I want to hear the reasoning. Maybe she's done. Maybe that's part of it.
And she may have said, "Fire me, I'm done."
We've talked about it a little bit, Mike. Both of us believe they'd be stupid if they let her go. Her being in that contract window and no word on whether they've signed her. Big Mike asked about what we think about the Mariah May situation.
Oh.
After this deal that she's had with Toni Storm and the growth in her character and how amazing she's gotten, if they just let that slip through their fingers, that is absolutely asinine. There's no reason you let that person go.
No.
But, yeah, it's weird. It's weird and it's wild. Well, and again, like, just to kind of dovetail back, like, Gail Kim is the big name in that conversation. There's the other, like, one of them's a big name in creative, and one of them's a big, absolute. She could carry that division for a decade. Her and Harley both.
Harley is the most improved and most entertaining woman on that roster.
Yep. Well, and there's a lot to be said about that Harley Graham character too. Like, I don't know who that is.
She's going to be a star. I don't know who that is, but she's going to be a star.
That shit was great. Tony, I got to go phone a friend. I'll be right back.
So there's a video of Gigi jumping off of Tatum's back into basically a Bronco Buster to Jakara.
Mm-hmm.
Gigi retweeted it and said, "I call this one boxing."
I need to queue up that Dolph Ziggler meme.
Should have been me.
Should have been me. But yeah. But then you've got some of those higher ups that were part of creative and part of the backstage stuff, and then we hear that we're replacing them with Delirious as being head of creative for TNA now, and that's a weird choice.
I know nothing about this dude.
I have seen a couple of shows with him on it, and I think like one interview of him being out of character. Other than that, I don't hear anything about him. I don't hear people talk about him. I don't hear other wrestlers talk about his impact in the business. So I don't know anything about him. So I don't want to disparage him at all, but like TNA had good creative. TNA's only problem over the past like 10 years is that they can't get a good damn TV deal. If they could just get that, I think they would be in line to be as good as, if not better than AEW on numbers.
Yeah. I apparently missed Penta jabbing whatever into Moxley's head at All in London.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Apparently, because this just came up and I'm like, what in the fuck? Those things are literally sticking out of the top of his head.
Yeah, they're legit wood skewers.
This man...
I would love to hear the conversation Sam and Renee have after these matches.
Oh, I know he walks backstage and she just either says, "What the fuck, John?" or it's just like, okay.
I haven't heard anything either, Big Mike, because I was thinking the same thing the other day because we were talking about their entrance and how wonderful that entrance of Chemical X is. Yeah, Shotzi just kind of seemed to disappear. I don't know if she got hurt again or what, but hopefully she's okay. Because I was actually enjoying the whole Chemical X thing. I thought it was a great idea for those three to be together and be, WWE's version of the Powerpuff Girls type of idea. I thought that was a good little run for them. But all right, well, that finishes out what we've come to talk about today. We will have no show on Thursday. Tori has some other obligations that she's going to take care of, and so
Grace's birthday's tomorrow. Mary's not off till Thursday, so
yeah. So you have fun with that. That is perfectly fine. So I'm gonna hang around here, watch some wrestling. I might, and this is just a might. I'm not gonna hold myself to it, but I might throw on My Rise on Thursday and do that. If you guys want to see that, just kind of comment on the video and let me know if you want to see that. But other than that, I'm free Thursday night, so I don't know. Clean, maybe play some Xbox. I don't know. I'll do something. But with that being said, I want to thank you guys for being here. Hit us up on all the socials down below our names here. Hit us up on the Discord here. We actually had someone join from the last stream. So the Discord is for the gaming content. So you can be able to see both of our screens while we're playing GM mode. A lot of fun in doing that. What you don't see up there is our Twitch number. Our Twitch number, I just found out today, we are 3 people away from our Twitch goal.
seriously.
And so
Big Mike said you could watch his pod.
Well, I was going to do that anyway.
Big Mike out here pipping his podcast on our show. Well done, sir. Well done.
I mean, I wouldn't want to get on there and take over the chat or anything, though. Get y'all off the rails like I do sometimes. We do have a very cool announcement that's coming here very soon. I'm nailing down dates. As soon as I can nail down the date, then I can say something. I don't want to say anything until I got a date nailed down.
Right.
So that is coming. So looking forward to that. Our personal Twitters are below our names here, so definitely get there, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. It's free, and it just makes the show even better. You're okay with going off the rails? Me too. I enjoy people getting in the chat and taking us off onto other tangents. Makes the show more entertaining, for sure. But with that being said, though, I'm Mike. This is my best friend, Tori. And we will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.